No, I'm just saying. That's a trash take.
Stop it.
And that's how we starting this show.
There
that's
we go.
a trash take.
On mamas? On mamas?
Oh, well. Old mamas. Let's go. Old mamas is crazy. We're talking basketball. I love your mom. You love my mom.
Absolutely beautiful.
Both moms are still here. We're doing great.
Moms are beautiful.
How's your mom?
Mom's good.
How's your mom? How's your mom? How's your mom?
Great.
Drew? Good mom? Good mom? Yep. How's your Membo, though?
Dang good man.
Dang good Membo. I'll take that. What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. If you're wondering what the heck we're doing here, because that's kind of what this is all about. The Windy City Breeze is now the Breeze. And ladies and gentlemen, we've gone national. That's right. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. And even while we're here on the national scene, you know what we've got, ladies and gentlemen? Joe, you know what we got?
Is it the squad?
You know what we got?
We got the squad.
I don't know.
Drew, you know what we got?
Yes.
We got the squad in the building. Oh, yeah. As always, super producer Joel Holders, pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. That's probably crazy for the people that have never seen the Windy City Breeze. Tap into the Windy City Breeze. Of course, Mr. Ringo J himself, formerly known as Ringo J, Stefan Adana. Of course, Mr. Drew Better. If you knew better, you do better. Say, who better? Nobody, bro, who got choked out in the hallway. Y'all, that's right. We're starting out on We're starting out off the air.
Stop bringing on the air.
You gonna lie on the air? You gonna lie on the air?
No, what's wrong with it?
Hey, I didn't get choked out.
No, it was a friendly bout.
It was a friendly bout. I didn't get choked out. It was no choke out.
There was no choke out.
No, there was no choke out.
There was no choke out because I didn't want there to be a choke out. Anyway, we got to talk about
sex class and
today's episode.
Sex class and videotape.
What a kind man.
We got a lot to talk about on this episode, man. The Western Conference is in a wild place as the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the win tonight ties them up with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Golden State Warriors. Yep. The West is in a battle right now. Luka and the Lakers, do we believe that they can really be contenders in this NBA playoff series that is coming up? Do we believe in the Eastern Conference Cleveland Cavaliers? I never believe in Cleveland. Anyway, and where do we think Sheduer Sanders lands in the NFL combine and all that in the draft? All that and more in today's episode of the of the Breeze.
Hey.
Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Breeze, leave a 5-star review. You know what to do. Boys, what's going on?
Oh, man.
Talking national sports.
We talking national sports.
National.
You know how giddy Kid is right now? He wore a Lakers jersey from TikTok.
With the Bulls jacket.
That's a Kobe with the Bulls jacket underneath. Shout out.
Hey,
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Shout out. I'm not mad at it. You all over the place, though.
Hey,
I'm
listen.
kind of mad at it.
It coordinates.
Kobe jersey, Bulls hat?
He was almost a Bull.
No.
He was almost a Bull.
He was.
He
Lou Ordain.
He was almost a Bull.
Well, Lou Ordain had to get traded to make him a Bull.
Yeah,
so
he
no.
said no.
He was looking for houses in Lake Forest.
That's right.
Hey, listen, he wanted to be
People
here.
looked at houses in Lake Forest.
He was going to be the second greatest shooting guard in Bulls history outside of who's above him.
Exactly.
Wow. This guy disrespectful.
Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. This is going to be coming to you weekly on a Friday. And listen, we're going to just be talking about the biggest stories of the week. Of course, we got to talk about everything that has happened throughout the week, national sports-wise. Jordan JC, I will give you a moment for your hockey.
No, thank you.
Actually, let's do it right
do
now.
that
Let's
hockey.
do it right now.
All right.
Let's do it right now. Ovi. Clap it up for Ovi.
Thank you.
Clap it up for Ovi.
Alexander
Breaking a
Ovechkin.
Gretzky record is crazy.
Crazy work. Crazy
Broke
work.
a Wayne Gretzky record.
That's insane.
Listen, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete of all time. But Wayne Gretzky is God.
He's up there.
If you took all of the goals away he scored, he's still the leading point getter
It's crazy.
in NHL history. That's
crazy.
nuts. That's
It's crazy.
So I will clap it up for Ovi on that one.
out to
Also,
Ovi.
baseball is happening. There's some
That's
torpedo
right.
bats happening. The Cubs are winning.
Yeah, the Cubs are winning. They're
they're
first
not-
place.
winning, man.
Not better than the Dodgers.
Thank you
And
for
we
telling
got to
me.
keep this thing moving along.
Actually, they are.
And that was all the baseball and hockey talk we got.
Wasn't it funny? Didn't no boy that his favorite song was "Bands That Make a Dance"?
Who?
You talking about Ovi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ovi.
Yeah.
Ovi's a character. Ovi's a character.
Bands That Make a
No, you know who. So hold on. You know who? If we simply doing the national thing right now, you know who's great with the conversation on like getting put on to the hood music.
Oh, that's not from the culture?
No, John Gruden just got put on to Migos.
I saw that.
Bro, he loves the Migos.
I saw that.
He watches tape
Listen
to the Migos. And somebody walked in on him at Barstool and was like, "What are you listening to?" And he said, "Oh, this is the Migos. Have you heard of them?"
Migos, brother.
Tap in. Tap into the Migos. It's
don't
my
know if I
favorite
accept
thing
him.
in the world right now. No, bro,
I
I'm
love
not
that
gonna lie
dude.
to you. He is listening to B-side Migos trap
Okay, all right.
when they're finding John Gruden watching film.
Okay,
Like-
all right, John. All right,
I'm
that's
not gonna lie to you, bro. If I walk
not
in and
giving
John
him the
Gruden
pass.
is watching Caleb Williams tape to I don't know why they came in the club with you, girl. I don't know why they came in with these diamonds on my chain. Surrounded by men, I can't get them out my face. Is it because I'm handsome and wealthy? Hey, bro, listen. Caleb Williams gonna be the greatest quarterback of all time. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
That's
John
what's
Gruden's
gonna
just
happen.
trying to get another job.
I'm tingling.
he can stand at the outside of the cookout.
You want to know what makes me feel nicey?
Tingly.
The Migos.
Migos.
Hey, man, let's talk about this Western Conference right now because I think the Western Conference is very interesting. We just watched the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, and the Western Conference is all over the place. I mean, you're talking about some top teams here, and the debate we were having right before we started the show tonight was, where does this Western Conference match up? Where if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder, your gift right now, if it stays the same way over the next 2 games, is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That's a gift.
That is not a fun gift to
That's a
get
curse.
if you're talking about 1 through 8. But I mean, starting out with this game here, what we saw from Memphis and from Minnesota dominated at every front. Zach Edey's out there in the fourth quarter. Thanks for the steak. Because I mean, listen, like the Memphis Grizzlies right now look like a team that just fired their head coach. Oh my God, they did.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Wild. But coming off a 3-game winning streak, but when you face a real playoff team, you saw the effects of it.
Yeah.
Let's start off on the Memphis side of this. Boom. Foul. Boom. You know what I mean?
All
Cover
right.
your ears. Is Memphis a threat? Is Memphis a threat at all because of everything they're going through?
No. If it stays the same, they play who? They're number 7 now?
They're 7. They would play
Wait,
Houston right
Stop
now.
it.
Actually,
Stop it. Houston in 4.
In 4.
Houston in 4. Houston's defense is ridiculous.
Houston's defense is
Houston's
ridiculous.
defense
I
is
agree with that.
ridiculous.
It is.
Nah, Houston in 4. They're not a threat to the
but the
top seed.
experience in the playoffs, doesn't that kind of give them a little bit of a game, a gentleman's sweep? You're giving them 4-0.
Playoffs
Well,
comes
there
down
might
to
be
coaching.
there might be some motivation.
Cap.
Wow.
But they skating
Cap.
through the seat. They're skating through, right?
Oh yeah. Attitude reflect leadership.
Hey, it comes down to coaching.
Yeah.
Guess who has a coach? Guess who doesn't?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
Ime Udoka is
Ime
candidate
is,
for coach of the year.
Yeah.
If not coach of the year,
who's
Yeah.
the superstar on the Rockets?
they don't need one.
Jalen Green.
You would say
I would
Jalen
say
Green.
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green's their best
think
You
player.
know what?
Thompson-
I'm
I
not
think
gonna
the
lie to you.
Thompson
I'm not
twins
gonna lie
are
to you.
superstars.
Time.
The Thompson-
Y'all know,
Sengun.
y'all know who I'm saying.
Sengun.
Sengun, a difference, man.
He a difference maker.
He's like Paul Gasol.
Sengun, who guarding Sengun on Memphis right now?
Nobody.
Jaren,
Well,
on
yeah,
Memphis.
He
yeah,
can't
yeah,
stay
yeah,
in the
yeah.
game long
He
enough
can't-
to do
he ain't
it.
sticking
On Memphis, I'm just saying who?
Jaren can't stick.
Are
it.
we talking about who's going to be in the starting lineup versus him? Yes, Jaren Jackson
Jaren
Jr.
can't
will be
stay.
in the starting lineup versus him.
You don't think he can hold his own?
No.
He was in conversations for Defensive Player of the Year a couple of
He
years ago.
cannot guard without fouling.
I understand. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Julius Randle got out tonight because Jaren Jackson Jr. couldn't
Oh,
stay in
yeah.
the game.
Well, Jaren had 23, but you're right. You're right.
He couldn't stay in the game. He had three fouls before the third quarter.
Here's my only thing with Memphis. Whenever you have a superstar, I think you always have a chance. If Ja Morant is playing in the game, I think there's a fighting chance with this team. They can get on a streak, and I feel like if you play the right way, because I think they have decent defense as well. Desmond Bain does what he's supposed to do.
I love Desmond
Maybe
Bain.
Zach
I love
Edey
that
averages 15.
Oh, is that a gut punch? If Zach Edey averages 15 in the first round of the
He
playoffs?
averages a
That's a
steak.
gut punch a little bit.
I think
It
that
is.
they could win. They could win.
Drew, what are your thoughts on the playoff series here? Are you a believer in Memphis?
I do like Memphis, but I don't think they have enough to depend on their seeding to take out one or two. I don't. I like Ja. He's definitely going to give you his 25 and 7 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists. But I don't see him taking over a la Kobe and willing himself to a first round win.
Yeah. He would have to overcome, Joe.
The Grizzlies?
Yeah.
I'm going to say I actually would give him a shot.
You giving him a shot versus the Rockets.
Mhm.
I think there's a conversation to be
Wait,
had. I don't know if I say
wait,
4-0.
what did we
Kids
just-
going 4-0.
What did we just say? We said that it's about superstars, right?
Yes, it is.
Earlier, you just said literally, I would trade almost anything to get any of those
Jokic, Anthony,
superstars.
and Ja.
So the thing is that they skated to get into the playoffs, but I think he can turn it up, and that's what you're going to see. You just got done saying who does Houston have now? Clearly, there are teams that can win through team gameplay. But if he gets hot, and he can, and like you said, you still got Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. You still got, Zach Edey.
Calm down now.
You know what I'm saying? Scottie Pippen Jr. has been doing his thing.
Scottie Pippen Jr. has been doing his thing. I'm not going to lie. Best superstar kid in the
So
NBA
far.
If they're lying in the weeds,
that I've ever seen.
if they're lying, the
Superstar
playoffs,
kid?
To me, the playoffs, this doesn't mean anything anymore. Back in the day, like in my day when we watched the NBA,
take a
the
shot.
number one
I see
team.
why you say that.
But the
because
number
Ron Harper wasn't a superstar.
Ron Harper wasn't the superstar.
Yeah, but
I
the
see why you
the
said
number
that.
one teams typically were the favorite to win. Nowadays, it's almost like you can they just want to get into the playoffs, and the West is so stacked as it is, anyways.
Yeah.
So you got a superstar like him. I'm not counting him out.
I think I'll give him. If it's me, I'll say 4-1. I think Ja will get you one. I think the issue with them,
You won.
to me, is the fact that they don't. I just don't believe in them. They're not really playing defense right now. It's a kind of a mix between, do we want to play fast with Ja in there, or are we trying to get back to that style of when Ja was out, where everybody was moving the ball and everybody was getting open looks. I like Scottie Pippen Jr. I like Jaren Jackson Jr. The problem is he can't stay on the floor long enough to keep them in the game, and that's really
The
their
fouls are a
only,
problem.
that's
He's a
really
new
their
Karl
only
Anthony
defensive anchor they got. So I'll get him one, but that's about it.
I think here's the thing for me, right? One, Houston's never been to the playoffs. Now, Ime Udoka has. So that makes a big difference. Your coach has been to the playoffs.
True.
Memphis's coach now hasn't been. I think that's more of an impact than the fact that Ja Morant is going up against the 2 seed in the West, right? I would say it's probably a 6-game series where everything is very competitive, because we saw a very competitive game tonight versus a Minnesota team that I think is better than probably where they're slated. But to me, the conversation around Ja Morant and the conversation around the Memphis Grizzlies right now is this a team that defensively can wake up? I'm going to bet on that when you have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate consistently on your team, who's consistently in the 3 to 4 blocks per game area. That changes how teams are going to do things, and a lot of what the Houston Rockets do is predicated on them getting to the basket. Amon Thompson does a great job getting to the basket, right? Jalen Green does a great job getting to the basket. I love how Alperen Sengun plays. To me, he's the best. And I know this sounds crazy with Jokic, with Vooch, with all of these bigs in the league that are great back to the basket. Alperen Sengun has the best back to the basket footwork in the NBA. I've been saying that for 4 years right now. I've been saying that for 4 years. I believe that makes a difference in this series. And to me, I do have a Houston putting Memphis out, but I do think Memphis can be competitive in this series. And that's why I think the end of this season is incredibly important, because if the Timberwolves lose the next couple of games or they win the next couple of games, I think Memphis is in that conversation. And again, Joe, you brought up the superstar the superstar aspect of this.
Mm-hmm.
Superstars find a way to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they do things that you don't expect them to do. I can't call Ja in the modern NBA a superstar, because y'all know how I feel about it. You got to have some accolades. You got to have some jewelry or something to go with it, an MVP, something. But Ja's a superstar level talent. He may never get to that, but he's a talent that is superstar level. That I think can change the series. I'm not gonna lie to you. Unless you put Amen Thompson on them, the whole series, which maybe you do. There's nobody
That's exactly
on that
what you
team.
do. That's exactly what you do.
Well, I would assume you put Amen Thompson on
Desmond.
Desmond Bane, and you put Dylan Brooks, who's also good defensively, on Ja Morant.
Who also knows them.
Yeah, who knows them well.
Dylan
as well.
Brooks is getting cooked.
Now,
Dylan Brooks is getting.
about
Ja
I
versus
would
Dylan,
agree with that.
He getting cooked.
I would agree with that.
Thompson, nah, that kid different. That kid is different. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's a beast.
Because we have this image of
both of them.
Because we have this image of
This
this is the difference between superstar and superstar talent.
No,
and is a
it
superstar.
depends on his anger. Because if he can keep his anger in line, then he is a good defender. But if he gets a little bit out of
Who,
his square,
Dylan? Yeah, Dylan, you can get out of his
True.
body. Dylan, you can get out of body.
Ant is a superstar.
No,
Ant is a superstar.
He hasn't won anything.
he ain't won nothing.
By your definition, I give you that. That kid's a superstar.
No.
There's a clear difference between the what he brings, the excitement. Superstar is more along the lines of not just what your talent is, but the marketability of it. He's clearly the more
If
marketable
we're
player.
talking about marketable,
And he's the
Ant
more
is
marquee
least, and is the least marketable player in the NBA right now. There are 4 children who have a dad that doesn't want them right now. Ant is the least marketable player in the NBA right now.
Yet this is the gentleman that's on everybody's list for throwing bombs in the audience.
Which is great.
Like,
I'm not saying either
not
one
only
of
is he
them-
marketable,
No,
like-
I'm just going
he's
off
a
of what your
reluctant-
debate is. He literally said, I don't want your child. So Ant right now is the least marketable player in the NBA based on 2025.
This man is paying 216 months of child support.
My G.
That's a cap.
I don't-
That was a
that was
cap.
a cap.
She said she pulled that out as a cap.
you think that
CAP.
a kid is more important than the AK and the grenade?
But we,
The NBA doesn't care about that at all.
we
I'm gonna be
talking
honest
about
with you. The
life.
NBA has
We're talking
been
about
dealing with that type of situation since the beginning of the NBA. You're not going to sit there and change that now. That's the one thing like the NBA does that's very similar to the
NBA has been
NFL.
dealing with all of it. I mean, Ja Morant is sitting here coming in with play guns pointed at the audience. Gilbert Arenas walked in you dig with Glocks and put them on the table and said, "You pick one and we'll pick 40 paces."
And
It's
he
called
tried
in
to
the
fight
shoot.
David Stern, and David Stern said, if you sit here and try to fight this 50-game suspension, which you could, and you do have precedent for, I'm going to go after your money and you will never play again.
which is great.
And what did Gilbert Arenas do?
Shut
up.
That's
what he did. He sat down and shut up, and guess what? He wasn't the same afterwards.
And the same argument can be made for Ja. Ja hasn't been the same since his comeback.
That's not the argument.
No, what I'm saying is
Ant-Man is a
saying-
superstar.
You're saying the marketability for Ant is higher than for Ja. I would say both of them are through the floor right now. Neither of them are marketable.
I highly doubt it.
In 2025, you're going to market the guy who literally has come out on Instagram multiple times and been like, this ain't my baby.
Hey, I get
That's
you.
not going to work.
I totally get it.
And by the way,
In a
I
couple of
don't
months,
care.
this is not going to matter.
I'm not gonna lie to
You know
you.
what's going to matter? They're going to win the first round,
look.
and nobody's going to remember about this kid.
We all remember Mariah Mills. But
hey, guess what?
we all remember Mariah Mills.
And where's Zion? Where's
I
Zion?
really don't want to.
Hey,
Sitting on the bench.
if Zion was winning, we wouldn't care
you
about
don't
Mariah
want
Mills.
to. I was doing Locked On NBA. I had to cover that. She was live tweeting while I was online.
online.
It was 3 tweets, and then every now and again you get reminded what she does for a living. You be, oh no, God. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, I think here's the thing. For me, the superstar conversation, we live in an era where scoring don't matter. It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Kobe White can score as much as Anthony Edwards.
No, he can't.
Yes,
Stop
he can.
He has the potential.
That's why he's the player of the month.
He has the potential.
Yeah,
to
he's
do
player of the month.
Josh Giddey has scored more than Anthony
He's averaging
Edwards.
over 30. He can actually.
Josh
put up the
Giddey has
points.
outplayed Anthony Edwards this season based on stats. Josh Giddey has a stat that only LeBron James and Nikola Jokic have.
I get it.
100%. Stats don't matter in the modern NBA. You want to know why? Because everybody's going to do this. I don't want the foul. Do what you do. I'm going to go down here and get this 3. That doesn't matter. Jason Tatum can put up 40. Kobe White can put up 40. I've seen Ish Smith put up 40.
Just because all of these players can put up a
P
number.
Will had a 40 ball.
P. Will had a 40 ball. My point
You
in all
can't do it consistently like Ant-Man does.
Kobe White.
None
has
of
done-
those players can.
Kobe White has done it for 2.5 months right now.
Stop it.
He literally has done it for 2.5 months.
Stop it.
Stop what?
Stop it. He's not even in the same conversation. He's not even the same conversation.
Are we talking
He's
about
not even
numbers?
the same conversation.
I'm having a conversation on numbers.
We are having a conversation.
That's
on
great.
numbers. We can have a
Kobe
Hey, let's
White-
have a conversation on
Kobe
numbers.
White for 2.5 months has scored the same as the best players in the NBA, which is why he was voted Player of the Month last month.
He's still
My
putting up the
point
same
in all
numbers.
of this is everyone scores. Everyone has a score. You texted me last night. Zach LaVine had a 25 and 11 night in a loss.
And Zach LaVine's a better scorer than Kobe White.
That's great. Scoring, my point is, for the superstar category, scoring don't matter.
Okay.
If you're going to be a superstar in this league, if you're going to be marketable in this league, if you're going to be one of the best players in this league, and I know for a lot of y'all, there's 37 superstars in the NBA.
No.
Damian Lillard's a superstar. No, he's not. He's got the same accolades when he was a rookie.
No.
You have to have some kind of jewelry, some kind of award, some kind of accolade that says you are better than the rest of your contemporaries. And continue playing after that. And the only reason I had to add continue playing after that is because Joel Embiid won the most fraudulent MVP I've ever seen in my life.
I was just tired voting from people that want to Jokic.
And then he went out there and never played another basketball game.
Yes. That is definitely fraudulent.
Fraudulent?
Yes.
He has never seen Jokic.
Jokic should have won
He has-
3 in a row.
He has not.
Fraudulent?
No.
Charles Barkley's
played Jokic.
MVP over Michael Jordan is more valid than Joel Embiid's MVP over Nikola Jokic.
Wow.
You actually believe he should have won over Jokic that year?
Wow. Yes. It's called MVP fatigue.
Yeah.
Yes.
The whole
Okay.
premise of that is
That's
people
the
just
point.
say, hey, give it to the next guy.
The point is the voting gets tiresome when you go for the same guy that's dominating the
you
league.
guys act like Embiid didn't put in.
It's not about him acting. He did not deserve it.
My point is,
Did not deserve it.
Embiid did not mean more for his team than Jokic did.
He didn't.
Yes, the numbers were the numbers, but you are talking about Embiid did not mean more to his team.
No.
He didn't.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is this. When Embiid wasn't on the floor, which he usually isn't, Tyrese Maxey,
That year he was on the floor a lot.
he played 65 games.
That's a lot.
Literally
for him.
the minimum.
That's a lot for him.
I agree.
a
It's
lot for
terrible.
That's
Tyrese
terrible.
Maxey literally helped that team get
bare
to the
minimum
next
of
step.
Helped, yes, but without Embiid, they would have won like 10.
Okay, take Jokic off the Nuggets.
They still would have won 20.
No.
Are you
They would
kidding
have
me?
won 20.
Who's the next best
Jamal
player?
Murray.
Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray
was
was
a
going
hooper.
to dominate to the
Jamal
point of
Murray's a
them winning
hooper.
20 more games.
Jamal
So is
Murray
Maxey.
is a hooper. But they
Tyrese
would have
Maxey a
won.
hooper.
They would have won 20 more games.
Okay, all right.
They won 20 more games?
No, 20 games.
Oh,
20 games
okay.
compared to 10.
Oh, so they both suck. All right, bet.
Yeah,
Hey, what are y'all talking about?
No, like, but
let's
here's
suck and wins.
No, but this is the thing. Joel Embiid gets back on the court, and the team has a second-round exit. Nikola Jokic gets back on the court, and the team wins an NBA championship with a head coach that they believe should not be the head coach. By the way, he's fired.
Yeah.
And the GM.
And the GM, who, wildly enough, I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen a picture of this guy, but tell me it's not Nick Cage's face photoshopped on Mike Brown's head.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
That's hilarious.
It's kind of insane. I'm just saying. We've talked a lot about the Memphis Grizzlies here. I don't believe in them. But Minnesota
they're gonna get
Timberwolves,
swept.
I think, is very interesting because of the conversation we're having, the superstar conversation. Again, I wouldn't agree with you that Ant is a superstar, but when you're talking about a talent on the floor, Ant has that superstar talent. And
He has the attitude.
going up right now, Ant will be playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. The question is, can Jaren Jackson step up? The question is, can Desmond Bain step up? The question is, it's not, can Anthony Edwards step up?
When you mixing teams.
I'm sorry. Julius Randle.
Yeah.
We had a little fun before the show. The question is, can Julius Randle step up? The question is, right, like,
You know how I feel about him.
Mike Conley, can they finally, and they went to a Western Conference Finals very recently.
Well, that's a different team too. You changing parts, and so whatever the cohesiveness. So that's probably the byproduct of this.
Yeah, you take away
Cat going
Cat
over
from
there.
there.
They brought in DiVincenzo, right?
Yep.
And
Dante DiVincenzo comes
so
in.
They still got Gobert.
Right, but that's still that's your continuity's affected, so it probably takes a while to figure things out. You know, it'd be nice to just figure it out in 10 games, but it takes a while at times.
True.
I mean, they had 82.
Yeah, I know. It's like LeBron was in Miami with back in
No,
the day.
LeBron
They took a minute to jail.
That's
Took him 18 games.
No, that's different though. The LeBron in Miami situation was LeBron still wanted D-Wade to be the number one.
My point is that
Nobody came into Dante DiVincenzo didn't walk into Minnesota and go, hey, you know, I think I really can beat Karl Anthony Towns. I'm probably number one on this team.
You're not necessarily wrong. What I'm saying is that there's a difference of having different players on the team.
Yeah.
It's a different.
The chemistry is
It's
different.
different.
That's
It's
all
a
I'm
different
saying.
The
chemistry.
chemistry is different. You don't know where everyone wants to be on the floor, things of that nature. I think another player that talked about that a lot was Damian Lillard. He talked about his game totally changing from him having the full range to do whatever he wanted to do versus I only can shoot threes now.
Yeah.
Now Giannis wants to. No, I can only do that. So you have to deal with that. Like, be honest. Have you seen Dante DiVincenzo take as many set threes as he's taken? He took a lot on New York. Don't get me wrong, but the threes he's taking now is I didn't see him shoot this many shots like that from that range.
I think that was his role though. I think now actually he's got more of a role. He has to drive more.
Yeah.
Dante DiVincenzo has to prove that he's more of a complete player.
Right.
Because you're taking over for not really taking over because you add Naz Reid and that started.
Naz Reid's there. You still got
But
Julius Randle.
you're having the conversation now on
Alexander Walker.
DiVincenzo getting downhill a heck of a lot more than he ever was in New York because I didn't need him to get downhill. I had everybody else that literally only went downhill outside of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And Jalen Brunson goes downhill a ton. I think the conversation around both of those guys, both of those names, right? Like Joe was saying, he was like, I don't know which one got better. I would say the Knicks got way better. Because Karl Anthony Towns
does something that Julius Randle cannot do.
Go right.
Wait,
Jacob, you know exactly where you're going.
Julius Randle can't go right to save his life to this day.
I know, but do you think they got better? But they can't. The Knicks still can't beat the 1 and 2 teams in
That's
the
fact.
East.
But that was always the case.
But that was always the case.
Last year they were able to out hustle them. This year they just can't beat them.
But that
playoffs came around, they got smacked.
Playoffs.
Now injuries happen,
but they still
and stuff
could
like
beat
that.
them though. It's
lost
a
a lot of
difference
guys.
between beating them. They got beat last year. Knicks beat them last year. This year they can't beat them at all.
Yeah.
No, I think
I never had them as going high anyway, to be honest with you.
I don't believe in Cat.
I was gonna say I think coming into this year, I think they were always gonna be slated where they were right now. I mean, if you think about it, the Cavs mentality really shifted when Evan Mobley and Jared Allen said hey, we got to start playing big.
Yeah, and then whenever Mobley started knocking down 3 pointers.
We got to start playing big. Evan Mobley got to start knocking down 3-pointers. Once we change our attitude, we're gonna be good. After that, you got Boston. The Knicks were always going to be slated as third once they got Cat. It wasn't some elevated jump. Now, I will say that when it comes to them, and then you probably look at the playoff matchup that they're going to have with the Pistons, I think the Pistons got that mentality of coming in there to knock them off possibly, which is a very doable thing because the Pistons – from all the games I've watched this year, definitely won the smoke. But but going back to Minnesota though, that first round matchup with OKC, I would probably say that's going 6. My only thing is at that point I would need Julius Randle to step up,
wake up,
show why he's here. And we know how I feel about Julius Randle. Julius Randle has to play free basketball. How we played tonight, ain't no defense.
Yeah.
OKC.
He gonna have a different run against
exactly.
OKC.
OKC is the number 1 team in every single defensive category. He's gonna have to play.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like the Thunder, I mean, they come in different, and they prioritize both the defensive metrics and adding in the scoring that Shea already provides. I mean, that's why they're the number 1 seed in the Western Conference right now. I think that defensively they're phenomenal. I mean, we watched what they did to the Bulls the other day, of course, doing the Windy City Breeze. It is a lot of times OKC can dismantle you if they get their defense going and Shea is on point. The one thing that I would say about OKC right now that I think could be a difference maker is Chet versus Rudy Gobert I don't think Rudy Gobert is elite.
But I
But-
think Chet beating him.
Rudy Gobert changes how you have to run your offense.
Yep.
I'm the person that's always like Rudy Gobert is not.
Yeah.
I wanted to have belief in Rudy, and then Rudy showed up here, and I was like, oh, this is just who you are. So like Rudy Gobert to me is a dude that's very tall and can put his arms up straight.
Yep.
But that changes a lot.
no,
Listen,
no.
if you're
He can
Shea
play.
Gilgeous, who is 6'3",
Yeah.
Not,
I gotta shoot it over 7 feet arm or 7 foot body.
He's called the
Shea is
Stifle Tower
6'7".
for a reason.
6'7"? Shea 6'7"?
Yeah, Shea 6'7".
He's still the Stifle Tower for a reason.
Yeah.
He's the other guy's still
My
7'3",
point.
man.
My point
Yeah,
is
he's 7-footer, and then he go like this. Do he got to jump to dunk?
He's 7'2" or 7.
He's 7. He's
Shea
5.
6'5".
He said, "Hey, listen,
6'5", 6'6". So my point in this is,
that's a huge human being."
I gotta throw it over not only a 7'3" human being, but also throw it over the arms standing straight up. That changes how I'm driving to the rim. That means you got to become a jump shooting team. Oklahoma City gets a lot of their jump shots based off of going to the rim. If I know that Rudy Gobert is down there and he's got his arms up, I can play the perimeter a heck of a lot easier than if I'm just like, okay, I got to worry about the drive. Oh, snap. They kicked it out for the three-point line. Now, I don't think that it's going to hinder OKC in this, but I do think it makes it a heck of a lot tougher. And to me, I think that makes the Western Conference playoffs, I mean, completely different. I mean, if we're being honest, right, we're sitting here talking about two teams at the bottom. The Lakers, to me, is a completely different conversation right now.
Yeah.
Which we about to get into.
Which I think is just completely dangerous. Like, we're talking about Minnesota and Memphis right now who played tonight, and I think they had a good game. And it was combative, and Minnesota ends up winning. I would say Minnesota ends up with a higher seed than Memphis because of a lot of the turmoil that Memphis has gone through.
You want to move to the next one?
Yeah. The 3 seed right now in the Western Conference,
Actually, I can just.
if I'm not mistaken, right now is the Lakers at 49-31.
Yep.
With Luka Doncic. LeBron is clearly coasting through the last few games of this season. Luka is clearly trying to put himself in a comfortable position here with this Lakers team, and he's coming off of a trade deadline. What's he been there? The 22, 23 games?
27.
27 games at this point. Takes time to kind of fit in with a new team.
Still winning.
But it feels like they're starting to figure it out. Boys, are the Lakers a contender? I'm talking about. I feel like I hate it because I know the conversation is going to be, Jordan, LeBron, all that. But I feel like this is going to be LeBron's chance at a 6th championship.
Oh, boy.
5th.
Fifth championship, I'm sorry.
He's been like
Riding on
four,
the
five,
coattails.
He's been there enough. He should have been
Been
there.
11
To be
of
honest
them.
with you.
Yeah.
This is his best opportunity, though. Like, honestly, from a talent standpoint and from the coaching, like, no one's giving J.J. Redick the credit that he deserves for coaching.
That's because I watched the coach do this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is what Darvin Ham did,
he's
but
right.
people didn't like him because Darvin Ham kept his hands in his pockets.
You think
I'm
J.J.
just-
Redick's an elite?
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
JJ
think
Redick
yes.
is coaching.
He's coaching.
JJ
He's
Redick
coaching
is
way
actually
better.
coaching.
I said, is he an elite coach?
No,
He's
I don't
one
say
of the
I
top
don't.
coaches.
Well, this is his first season.
Yeah, you win a championship, you're an elite coach.
this
You
is-
get to a finals,
yeah.
you're an elite coach.
Wait. You can't make that decision off of one
Boy.
season. This is his first season.
All right.
So let's complete the season.
I
and
think
see where
he's
they end.
no. I'll say this.
I would say he's one of the
I'll
better
say this.
coaches in the league, though.
JJ Redick is calling plays that are working for the team
Yes, agreed.
That's an
Agreed.
elite coach.
Agreed. Okay.
right now.
All right.
Right?
He's making adjustments
Ty
that
Lue
work for
hasn't
the
won a
team.
championship. Oh no, Ty Lue did
He
win a
did win a
championship.
championship.
Ty Lue wins a championship in Cleveland for that reason. Eric Spoelstra wins championships in Miami for that reason. Taylor Jenkins, who just got fired, never made a championship.
Time out. Even with the Ty Lue situation, look at what he was able to do with that team with all the turmoil he had. Right? I think JJ, the way he connects with his players and some of the turmoil they had, like he has to manage a trade that got rescinded for some odd reason. He has to manage the personalities of LeBron James and Luka Doncic. I know LeBron is on his last leg, so to speak. I don't know how you say that. He just scored 33 points. It's like 40. He's like 40 years old, averaging like 25 a game. But like he's managing these superstars and he's still developing someone. Austin Reeves looks great.
Amazing.
Hey,
Amazing.
He's still got
Except against
Dalton
the Bulls.
Connect cat back. Well, he's learning how to play. He's learning how to play him too. Like honestly, Rui Hachimura looks
He kind of hates Dalton Connect.
a little bit.
He hates Dalton
I mean,
Connect.
let's
Let's not
Use
pretend.
him enough.
Hey, only one
I
white
don't know
boy can
what's
get off
going
at a
on
time.
with that.
There's 2 on the floor right
All
now.
right, just sit down.
You know, Rui Hachimura is looking a lot better and more
Rui
comfortable
looks
too.
good.
It's like he's coaching in a way that everyone's getting their opportunity. Plus, the players are buying into whatever he's saying.
I think even to that, right? I think they are buying in because people. We already knew that he was one of the great basketball minds that we knew that was on the come up.
JJ.
But not only that. Like he just kind of retired. Like he's still in that.
Oh yeah,
You know, like
he played this decade.
I was around when Luka was around. Like I was around when the majority of these guys are around. So he's still
He played Luka.
He relates to these dudes on that level. So I think that's another reason why you're seeing the buy-in and the stuff that he's asking his guys to do. They're like, oh, this actually works. Because on the offensive end, it looks like straight cash every time.
Yeah.
So,
And you know what I love about it? He's just telling them take the easy bucket.
Easy buckets.
Take the middies. Get to the bucket. Take the threes when they're there. He's playing the analytics game, but he's also doing everything that he can to get the Lakers as many easy buckets as possible. I love it. Listen, a 49-win season is nothing to scoff at. And it doesn't feel like this is a what's old boy before Pat? Riley.
On what team?
On the Lakers.
No, not Whitehead. Not Whitehead.
Paul Westhead.
Westhead.
Doesn't feel like this is a Westhead situation.
And Westhead won.
Westhead won a championship.
He won.
And guess what? But
And
you know
still
what?
got
I
him
actually
out of
took the other guy. The other guy was the coach. He got an accident.
Yeah,
Pat
yeah,
Riley
yeah.
was the coach.
No.
No.
The
Westhead
guy
took over.
actually-
Oh, the
the
original one.
system,
Yeah. Paul
He get hurt.
got put in.
He put in.
Yeah,
and then
won the
they won it
championship.
off of his stuff. So
Yeah.
And he ran other cats into college.
It don't feel like that.
That's it. It doesn't, and it feels like that's what it was before, right? You talk about the Lakers going to a Western Conference Finals and them being in the play and getting there, but it always felt like, but clearly you're not maximizing the talent that you have on this team, and a lot of times it is. You know, are you getting the most out of the talent? Are you doing the most with the talent?
Mm-hmm.
I think that now it's not that are you doing the most with the talent? It's are you putting the talent in the best position to win? And a lot of times it is, and I get it. Listen, you had Luka Doncic to a team. That's going to happen.
That's what I was going to say.
But a lot of times it is. Get out of their way. Let them do what they do. That's how Magic ends up going on to win more of his championships in LA, because all of a sudden basketball becomes fun to Magic Johnson again. And he knows that James Worthy is over there and that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is down there and that I need to throw it to the corner and I need to make this pass here. All of a sudden the players who are geniuses in their game
Come alive.
Yeah.
Well, you got a young guy that can basically distribute the ball, or
He might be
score.
Luka Magic.
Well, he
Might
kinda
be.
He
is.
might be Luka Magic.
And LeBron gets to basically, relax, and he also has the
Yeah,
same
he's
similar
coasting
skill.
right now.
Yeah, he
Play
coasts.
wide receiver.
he
He
gets
says
to-
he
he
says
gets
it. He used to play wide receiver.
Yeah, so he gets to base, and he still has that similar skill set. So it doesn't hurt to have guys that can actually distribute and make the players better. But most of this, I mean, the thing is, when you look at a lot of teams that have won, it's not just about being so ball dominant. It's actually really distributing the ball. It's being able to get all the players involved. So when you got two guys like that can actually do that, as long as other guys, like it reminds me of what Phil Jackson was saying to Mike and all them. It's like, I know you're going to be fine. I need these guys to step up.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be okay when the lights and the pressure comes. I need you guys the other guys to step up. So that's the whole point with, the Lakers could contend as long as you got two uber distributor type players that can get triple doubles.
Yeah.
And you see the effects even back home in Chicago. You got a triple double threat that makes everybody, you can distribute the ball. So they are a threat, or at least a contender. Because once Luka got there, now they're starting to figure out. I mean, begrudgingly, but it's going to be Luka.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, LeBron the king. No,
I mean, listen,
one
it's
thing
tough to
that's-
say. It's tough to say LeBron ain't doing it when he's still putting up 35,
yeah, but it's nice.
and he has been putting up 35 the
been
whole
putting up.
season. This has not been LeBron has all of a sudden changed his game drastically because Luka showed up.
No, it's just another
Now-
super max player.
Does it make it easier? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he also is coming off of having AD, who was having a great season, who was one of the best defensive players in the NBA, and a top 10 player when he's healthy. Like I don't think that this is LeBron. This is a reason to give a shot to LeBron for not doing more or being able to take the back seat here. If the back seat is 33 points a game,
But
Now here's
that's
an
a
interesting,
heck of a
here's-
back seat.
Here's something interesting that you just mentioned. AD was a top 10 defensive player. He's also a top 10 offensive player.
Yeah.
right.
So you gave up a lot on the defensive end that Luka doesn't make up for. And so when it comes NBA is about matchups. They just played the Warriors. The Warriors will beat the Lakers
I was going to piggyback to that.
in the playoffs.
in the playoff.
You
The
got-
Warriors.
you got
like
the Warriors.
player,
Warriors
like all that
If
point stuff
healthy,
is
yes.
cool in the regular
Yeah,
season when you beat
I
up
agree
on
with
other
that.
squads.
Jimmy Butler tilts that scale
Right.
way too
It-
much.
Yeah.
And you going up against a
Who
dog.
Jimmy Gardner?
You got two dogs. on
Jimmy's
the
guarding
floor.
LeBron.
Who Jimmy Gardner?
Luka.
You got Jimmy on Luka.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I put
the
Kuminga. I put Kuminga on LeBron.
That's a cook show.
Cook.
That's a cook show.
Cook.
Then you wrote.
Show.
Hey, hold on. Wait.
That's a cook
No.
show.
Wait. Excuse me. Draymond is
I was
sticking
about to say
LeBron.
Draymond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Draymond is sticking LeBron?
And I got Jimmy.
That's a
Luka.
cook show.
No, it's not.
Luka and I put
Cook
Jimmy.
show.
No, it's not.
That is.
They have
switching that.
great
I'm switching
battles.
that matchup.
They have great battles. I'm not saying that LeBron hasn't scored on him, but like he makes it really tough for him.
Whoa. We know LeBron.
And he's always won against. He's already won against Bron.
LeBron's eye is a defensive player, but Luka is not necessarily a great defensive player.
No, Luka's not a
Luka's
great
terrible defensive player. Yeah.
He's
the whole,
trash.
Right,
trash.
So the whole
He's
point
trash.
is that you attack the. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
And the good team is going to sit there and get that switch until they find a matchup that works for them.
So
Okay, so who's going?
By the way,
Reeves?
just to put it out there, and Draymond normally does guard LeBron. Draymond does normally
He's the
match up with
primary defender
LeBron,
against
right?
LeBron. You don't stop LeBron.
In
You
the
slow
last
LeBron down.
in the last 8 matchups versus Draymond Green, 33-5, 42-17, 31-4, 33-7, 48-9, 36-20-12.
What's the record?
He had a 13.
What's the
The
records?
Lakers won all these games. He had a 13-9-5 or a 9-8 game, and then he had a 31-15-8 game.
but that's regular season though.
It don't matter.
No, this is going back multiple years.
So is this playoff?
This does include playoff games, but the only time they matched up playoff wise was play-in tournament.
Playing. By the way,
And championship.
by the way, real quick.
And
No, this is just him with the Lakers.
By the way, real
They
quick.
haven't played in the championship.
Who's guarding Austin Reeves? You have to guard him.
That's your difference, man. That's your difference,
You,
man.
you have to guard him.
Stephen Curry.
Kaminga can guard.
Okay.
Austin.
Nah, Jonathan Kuminga getting cooked by Austin
Okay.
Reeves.
I think
it's gonna-
He don't need to be that far. It's
I
not
think
because
we give
Kuminga's
him
a
a
bad
lot of
defender.
credit, though.
That's a bad matchup.
It's a
for
bad
Kuminga.
matchup.
I think it gets down to look, if Luka's hot and going crazy and he's healthy, they have a chance to go as far as they want to. But he has to stay hot. If you're asking to do some defensive stuff and pull his end of the bargain on that side, you got deficiencies there. So that's where the rest of this team got to come in. But they have a chance. I mean, they're number 3, but the Warriors are not going to be pushovers. And if they get to the next round, that means they will go up against the Rockets or the Grizzly Timberwolves. No, well actually, it could be the Mavericks because they flip flop, right? The winner 7 and 8 goes to 7 seed, right? So it could be basically the Timberwolves and the Rockets, or the or the Mavericks or the Rockets. So
I don't want to cap because I gave multiple years here. So the last game, the Golden State did beat the Lakers 123-116. Lost 112-120. Lost 108-118. Lost 113-115. That's going back to 2024, and then they won that 2024 matchup 134-120 before that. And I think there's one more game with Brian in there, 2 more games with Brian in there where Golden State won 2 and lost 1. So combative. But Luka wasn't on the team for most of those games.
And here's the
That's
thing.
such a difference, man.
The thing I would say
what
is
it isn't, because Luka is such a that's a liability defensively.
Who's scoring on Luka on the Warriors?
Everybody.
Who?
Everybody.
But who?
Jimmy Butler is going on.
Everybody.
Jimmy going at Luka. I give you that.
Jimmy's
Everybody.
But you
Everybody
gotta-
can
but
score
you-
on
but-
Luka
but-
because Luka.
but the problem-
Luka can't
But the
guard.
pro-
Everybody
no, the
can.
pro-
Everybody
He's a
has
turnstile.
No,
opportunity.
but the
defense.
problem with that conversation is for Jimmy to score on Luka, you have to put the ball in Jimmy's hands. The kind of
No,
score
you don't.
that
No, you don't.
Jimmy is not a spot up shooter.
Yes,
No,
you-
no, you don't.
He
Because
can't.
they switch.
Jimmy
They
Butler
switch.
is
They
not a
switching
spot
off
shooter.
He's a
Luka.
slasher.
They switching off Luka. So Luka is on every switch pick and roll. So they drive it.
Drew,
So you're
Violent.
taking right.
Jimmy-
So you're driving. So you're taking the ball out of Stephen Curry's hands.
That's what I say. Everybody can score him because
No,
anybody,
but
everybody on
your-
their
but
team
your-
can drive.
But your game plan for the Golden State Warriors is take the ball out of the best shooter of all time's hands
Sometimes you have to, and yes,
yes.
for a
their
series.
their
You
success.
don't take the ball out of Stephen Curry's hand for a series,
There's been series where Steph Curry was the detriment for the Warriors that they had to take the ball out of his hands.
and they still
Unfortunately,
won, but-
that's the duality of
It's
Stephen
going to
Curry.
be on Steph.
You
He
either
just
you
played
either how he plays really determines that whether he takes a backseat at certain times is not. I mean, like, there's a reason why Kevin Durant was the best player on that team when he was there because he was the best player. He could actually score inside and out. Steph couldn't do that as well.
I don't necessarily think it's gonna be on Steph to be the one to step up.
It's going to be on everybody. else.
It's because at some point Buddy Hill,
Has to
Pod,
He has to start making-
Give up on that.
Buddy Hill been the same
Buddy
dude since
Hill
ever.
trash.
No, but I'm saying
Buddy
I'm
Hield
saying-
ain't nothing but teeth and hope.
No, I know.
Buddy Hield ain't nothing but teeth and hope, my boy.
Bro,
Pazinski
no.
is the key. Pazinski is the key.
Pazinski.
But that's what I'm saying though. At some point, one of those three got to step up.
Bro, Buddy Hield ain't nothing but teeth and hope.
So, I mean,
Buddy
and
Hield-
listen,
Buddy Hield gets you 15.
Draymond has already gotten on him
Yeah.
about
That's great.
being out there, and he got to step up, bro.
That's great. And you know how many 20-point games Buddy Hield got in the last 10?
Again, you're right.
You
That's
don't
what
need
I'm
One.
him for
saying.
15.
Yeah.
He's on the bench. You don't need him for 15
No, but
off
see,
the
here's my
bench.
thing. Here's my thing. Your expectation is the Buddy Hield versus the Lakers is all of a sudden going to become a magical fix and figure out, oh, my God, are you saying I should have been making three-pointers this whole time?
No,
My bad. I didn't realize I was effing up.
No, he just needs to offset Finney Smith and Rui. He just needs to offset. He needs to offset those.
But you got to
those two.
offset them a
No, he has to
lot.
offset
No,
all
you
stuff.
don't. No, you don't. You just have
You
to offset
have to
them
be-
equally
Who's the second scorer on that team?
on the
On the Warriors?
Butler.
Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy now.
Jimmy.
Right? Jimmy's the second scorer.
Playoff Jimmy's different.
Who's
Playoff
the,
Jimmy's
who's
different.
the
Playoff
different?
Jimmy's different.
Playoff
Who's-
Jimmy's
right,
different.
Right? You got two scorers on the Lakers. You got two scorers on the Warriors. Who's the difference makers for the Warriors?
Pazinski.
Podziemski.
Moses
He
Moody.
can shoot.
Did
Pazinski.
you really say
Pazinski.
No.
Pazinski.
Not over
Draymond.
Bonds. Not over
Pazinski.
Bonds.
Draymond.
not Moses Moody.
And
Moses
Kuminga.
Moody and Kuminga are
I-
difference makers for them. When Moody plays well, they typically
Are
have
they the third?
How often is that? though?
Brandon Podziemski, I'll give you, is maybe a better third. He is not a consistent.
He's not a
I didn't say he was
none of them
consistent.
are
I'm just saying
consistent.
that
We're
would
gonna
be
be
a
honest.
fact.
That's the
He's
problem.
And that is
factor.
one of the.
The reason we went down this road was because you said that the Warriors could beat the Lakers
Yeah,
in
no,
seven.
none of them can light a
I
candle
don't
to
see
Austin.
the Warriors having that third guy.
Right,
Austin
right.
Reeves as a
They don't
consistent
got
third
enough.
is a consistent third. I've seen Austin Reeves hit a game winner. I've seen Austin Reeves hit a game winner that should have been a game winner if LeBron doesn't have one of the worst brain farts in the last 12 seconds of a game that I've ever seen.
Agreed.
Right? Like Austin Reeves is a legitimate third option on a team.
Agreed.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
is.
that's why
He's
they're making the songs about LeBron and
I
they're
know,
putting Austin Reeves
but
in
it's,
there.
it's like this. It's like this. In my opinion, you have Pazinski, Kuminga, and Moody have to outscore Reeves, Rui, and Finney Smith.
Give me Reeves, Rui, and Finney Smith. Because Reeves can put up 20 of it. by himself.
I
And
was.
the other two are putting up between 5 and 10.
I'll be honest
so it's
with you.
40.
But
The other
10.
guys
It's 40.
play
It's
decent.
40.
But 10, and I don't believe-
But if the other guys,
I don't believe
if you got
Podziemski-
Draymond, Pazinski, and Kuminga. They can put up 15 apiece. That's 45 compared to the other people only putting up 30. Then that's the difference.
I don't
You
believe
asking them to do a
believe
lot.
Podziemski, Hield, and Draymond are putting up 40 plus.
Pazinski, Hill, Draymond, and Kuminga. That's 4. It's 4 against 3.
Well, there's only 5 people that can play on the court at the same time.
We
There's
talking
four
about the
things.
totality of the game. Of the game.
There's 4 things that the Warriors have that the Lakers may struggle with. even with the new addition, Butler has played against LeBron in the finals.
100%.
He actually I was going to say outscored. He put up
He
crazy. He outplayed LeBron.
He outplayed LeBron
right?
in the finals.
How many people can say that?
JJ Barea.
He's a bad man. Steve Kerr. Kind of threw me off with that one. Steve Kerr.
JJ Barea fit.
Hey,
like, that's a great take.
Yeah,
Like,
Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. Like, these are very high IQ players. They've been there before. They know it. You have the Lakers, but a lot of people ain't really been there.
But the two most important people have been there.
Who? Luka ain't never really been there.
Luka
just
went
went
to
to
the
the
NBA
finals.
finals.
He got smoked. He got
with-
smoked. He got
with
smoked by
Dorian
Jalen Brown.
Why did Luka not do
He
well?
got smoked by Jalen Brown.
Why did Luka not do well?
Luka
He
was
got
tired.
smoked by Jalen
No,
Brown.
he was tired as
He
well. I
was
do think
tired.
that. But why did Luka not do well?
No defense.
After the season ended, Luka had so many injuries
He did have a lot
on
of
his
injuries.
body.
Yeah,
He was
He
destroyed.
was dragging his leg.
Yeah.
His leg was bad. His back was bad. His shoulder was bad. His wrist was bad. You have the two smartest IQ players possibly in the NBA, depending on where you put Nikola Jokic in that conversation, on the same team. Going up against who Draymond, I think, is incredibly smart at basketball, outside of what people believe in him. I think that Stephen Curry is incredibly smart at basketball. I think you do have four of the top minds in a series that would match up there.
Heck of a chess match.
Question for you. With all
But
that,
I don't believe that they're smarter than
let me ask you a question.
LeBron James
Let me ask you a
and
question.
new era LeBron James, who's
Okay.
got a lighter complexion.
I got you. Hey, hold on a second. Real talk. Question for you. Who you taking? Steve Kerr or JJ?
Steve Kerr.
In the
what?
in the thrust of
Thrust.
the difference.
The
of
better
coaching.
coach? The better
Yes.
coach? Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's been there.
So you gotta
Definitely
give, so you
Steve
got
Kerr.
Steve Kerr's been
so
there.
you
I would give
mean-
the edge to that.
That means you got to give the Warriors a point.
And mind you,
I give you that. I'll agree with that.
and let's be
I'll agree with that.
clear.
Yeah.
The difference in record right now is 2 games.
Yeah.
It's not as if the Lakers are up here and the Warriors are right
But the
there.
Warriors have had this team all year.
The Warriors have not had Jimmy Butler. all year.
Butler just got here,
Butler just got there,
Butler just
and
got
he's a
there.
huge piece.
and
to
he
that
and
team.
they've only lost 3 games.
and they've been cooking.
That's
since
true.
he got
But
here. They on a tail.
But you lost to the teams that you needed measuring sticks, like measuring stick wins against. Cause you,
So they lost to get
The
some of the better
Lakers have done the same thing.
Cause you lost to the
Lakers lost to the Bulls.
Lakers
Yeah, they did.
They got-
Twice.
They got smoked by Denver.
Yeah.
What Warriors got smoked by Denver,
Warriors did get smoked by Denver.
and then after that,
They got beat by the Rockets.
That's a matchup issue.
exa-
Oh, it's a matchup thing. If you put the Warriors
And the
against
Warriors
Rockets,
have beat the Lakers.
if
this
you
year.
put the Warriors against the Rockets, I got the Rockets.
Here's the thing I will say though: the Warriors are
Man, that's
incredibly
a lot of love
inconsistent.
for
The Rockets are more athletic. That's why.
And more athletic.
He love Ime, bro. That's what it
No,
is.
I
Hey, look, I love
They
Ime
have
too.
no experience.
I love
playing in
Ime
the
too.
playoffs.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, let's be real.
They had
Could you
nothing
bounce
to
back
do-
after losing Neil Long?
Nah.
I'm still in the house.
Yeah.
I'm in shambles right now.
I'm stuck.
Crying
I'm like
over
my
her.
baby.
Bro, Neil Long?
My baby.
Crying over.
Oh, whatever.
This man
Ain't
coached
nobody
one
crying.
team that was
There goes
soft,
my
got them to where they are.
Ain't nobody
He has
crying
another
over
team in the
you.
top of the
Girl,
Those shit-
at
they
you.
go Saturday through
Sunday, Monday, Sunday through Sunday, yo.
Move on.
Nah, you don't move
Plenty
on
of
from Neil
fish.
Long.
You're
Plenty of
moving
fish.
yeah.
Playoffs is
I
about
want next
matchups,
It's a
man.
better fish in the sea than Neil Long. That's top 5 fish.
Absolutely. All right.
I mean,
That's
That's
a
good
wild
fish.
statement if
That's
we're
good
being
fish.
honest.
That's good
We
fish.
can't say that. We got to stop saying that. He said there's plenty of fish in the sea. We were going off of that statement. That sounds crazy to say that. Though.
Not with her, bro. Not with her. She's one of the finest ever.
I mean, for her age group, yeah.
No.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Hey, I'm in on
Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Trace Raw over
You
Neil
got
Long.
Vivica A. Fox over Neil Long? Is that what you said?
Over Neil Long.
Oh, I thought you just said that.
I said.
I thought I was missing a conversation. I was like, this show is over now.
He was running credits on everybody.
Nah,
You talking
I
about
said-
Ross over Long?
No, I'm just saying.
No, Tracy Ellis Ross different.
What's Kojo's wife?
Tracy Ellis Ross is different.
Is it Nicole?
Thank you, Ari.
Parker.
Thank
Hey,
you.
she's-
They're all
we
day.
ain't said her. He said Tracy
Oh,
Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross bad.
No.
Yeah, you're not top 10.
Tracy Ellis Ross bad in the mud. Let's not do that.
You're not
We're
top
not gonna
10?
disrespect that.
Not over.
He
Not
not
over.
top 10. He not top 10. He not top
Not
10.
With the top
He has
five.
gotten better.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
women.
Oh, well, that's a whole different thing. Tracy Ellis Ross is the
Ain't she like
Luka
65?
of women right now. I don't care.
It's like 50.
I don't care how old
Not over
she
near
is.
long. Not over near long.
I don't care how old she is.
I think it's
Not
all,
over near long.
Hey, beauty is in the
To this
eye of the
day.
beholder.
To this day.
To this
Oh.
day.
I stand on business. Not over near.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Man,
We're gonna
what-
move on to
what-
this next
what-
topic.
What is the
What's the movie? What's the movie? With her and Trey. What's that?
Tracy Ellis.
Trey?
No, the dark skin dude.
Neil Long?
Tay Diggs.
Tay
Talking about
Diggs.
Tay Diggs?
Yeah,
the
what's
best man.
Oh,
or something.
the
best man?
Oh, best
no,
man.
no, the other that one. And
Oh,
the
you
other
talking about with? Oh, yeah, I know. What you're
My
talking about.
hormones are raging.
right.
Yeah, I remember
that
that
is
one.
the
That's
best
the
man.
best
No,
man.
Please hit the third one for me, man.
But anyway, man,
Hey,
listen.
we gotta keep this moving
we
back
gotta
to
keep this
basketball.
thing
Man. We
moving.
gotta go to
Man.
Cleveland right now.
My
Dog.
bad.
Who wants to go to Cleveland?
What's
in
Who
Cleveland?
wants to go to Cleveland?
I got stuck on
Who
Nia Long
vacations in
for a
Cleveland?
second. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man.
Is she in
Shout out to Nia. Hey, if she is, I'm going to Cleveland.
Yes.
Shout out to Nia Long.
Hey.
I don't know.
Milf.
I-
I'm 24 years
Milf.
younger. I'm 24 years younger.
Little MILF.
She ain't
Hey.
going to Cleveland.
Calm down.
Shit, I'm not
Oh,
going
yeah.
to Cleveland.
Anyway, hey, do we believe in Cleveland? We talked about the Lakers. We talked about the Warriors. We've talked about Memphis. We've talked about Minnesota here, and I think the Lakers are probably the team that a lot of us believe in a little more. But the Warriors is high on kids' list here. Cleveland, top team in the NBA right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dominant team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I think the second Cleveland comes up against the Boston Celtics, I would argue the New York Knicks are in that conversation. It's GG's for Cleveland.
Shoot, maybe even the Pacers.
Stop it.
With the
I
way
don't
they-
know about the
with
Pacers.
The way they play,
I don't know about the Pacers.
the way they play on a
Man,
good day. the
I
Pacers
told
might
y'all
actually
about the
give them some
Pacers
fits.
last
Pa-
year.
Pacers,
One
Pacers
step
barely
in.
Pacers barely won tonight's game without Donovan Mitchell in the game.
Hey,
No, listen.
get Cleveland a
I,
little
I,
bit.
you know, I,
Two teams
I,
like that.
I love the fact that we're down in Cleveland, and I get it. I think this is the second best record that Cleveland's put up in the history in the last 20 years. That's even including a LeBron led
63-17, great
Yeah.
record.
The only
LeBron at 68 wins.
so 60. LeBron had 66.
Only team
his
better
best
than
year.
them in the NBA is the Thunder.
He went 66 and he went 61.
Yep.
Those are the highest ones when he was
You know,
there.
when champ-
So
I like
this
that
is
in the
so
regular
Donovan
season.
Mitchell. You want to give him the credit for it? They
I
cooking.
love Donovan Mitchell.
And so I'm gonna give you this right now. Boston, as opposed to any of these other teams that we talked about, Cleveland has beat Boston. They've beat them. They were down almost 25 in the first quarter. Came all the way back.
Definitely did.
Right. They beat them another time as well. So I think they split their season series. If you count the group
2-2.
stage, they're 2-2. In the games that they won, they did so in dramatic fashion. Like they looked like once they got rolling, they had control of that game.
But they didn't have Porzingis in a lot of those games either.
I get you, but I don't
So
expect
I
him to
don't
be
know.
there either. Because I mean, he's
Porzingis
always
is
injured.
Mr.
No, but he's healthy
been
now.
back. He
He's
been
healthy
backing
now.
up.
He's healthy now. If you look at Boston compared to Cleveland, I like Spider, but he chokes in the playoffs. He doesn't play up to his ability in the playoffs. So I think with Boston's acumen for winning the championship and their playoff expertise, you got to take Boston over
Hey,
Cleveland.
Drew, that's a good take, man. I like you, man.
Oh, it took this long into the show
Hey,
for you to rock with him?
No.
that was a good
Yes,
take. That was a good
yes,
take.
yes.
No, because I've been saying that about Donovan Mitchell, and Muggs always, oh, man.
I like him though. I love him.
Nah, he
like
cool.
him.
He cool. He cool. But when it gets to the playoffs, that shot selection start getting crazy. He got to
playoffs?
He got to show up.
You know who also had a
He gotta show-
pendant for not being a good player in the playoffs. It actually got worse every round, even though they made it far in the playoffs. Jason Tatum. In fact, there's several metrics that you can see his numbers got worse every
You're not
single
wrong.
round.
You're 100%
right,
right.
and that happened for
That's
2-3
true.
years
But
straight.
that-
It happened
Yeah,
last
true.
year.
It happened
last year,
right?
And true, but that's why they
Still
And
got
that's why he
Jalen
doesn't.
Brown.
That's why he doesn't have a Finals MVP. As
That's
well,
why they have
right?
Jason Tatum.
Yep.
Jason Tatum is the equilibrium on that team.
But Jason Tatum's also the leading scorer on that team.
I'm not
He's
Jason.
also-
Jalen Brown.
Jalen
Sorry,
Brown.
I'm sorry.
Jalen
Jalen Brown is the
Okay.
equilibrium.
He
I'm sorry.
balances it
I stand corrected.
And I
Jalen
respect
Brown
that.
is the equilibrium on that team for when Tatum takes them bad shots. Brown is the steadiness
The point I'm
help him
making
win.
is we can make that argument about a lot of players, about them like not showing up in the playoffs and stuff like that. And the current champion has a history of not showing up in the playoffs and being saved by his team. It's the narrative until it's not.
Here's the problem, though. How many champions, which Jaylen Brown or Donovan Mitchell is going to be the leading scorer on this team, no matter what, right? How many champions come from 44% shooters? Or 33% shooters from the field?
In the history?
From the three-point
counting
line.
all counting all coaches.
Well, I'm talking in the modern era versus the mugs he got to play against.
I want to say a couple, if that.
Donovan Mitchell is not an efficient scorer. Donovan Mitchell was playing his best basketball early in the season, being very efficient. And then as the season kind of went on, he became a chucker.
He's always like that, though. If you look at it,
100%.
If you look at him like that for his whole career, he's always very efficient in the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year, he slacks off.
No, this year he was extremely efficient. I mean, he was shooting like 56% from the field. Like, I was like, oh, Donovan Mitchell figured it out. He hasn't. He's reverted to the same guy. And the problem with Donovan Mitchell being the number one on the team, and I think that he is a extremely good player, is that Donovan Mitchell is truly the main scorer for that team. Now, you have other guys that can do it. Darius Garland can be an efficient scorer on that team. I think that he's somebody that you can look at. Darius Garland versus Jaylen Brown. That's a different conversation. I think that when you look at the matchups down low, that's probably where most of your efficiency comes from, and I would say that's where you have your best matchup. But Boston is the one team that when going up against Cleveland can match up versus a Jared Allen, can match up versus an Evan Mobley. That's where I think that gets tough, where they bring in a Kristaps Porzingis if healthy, because if he's not healthy, that's a completely different conversation, and I would give Cleveland the advantage there because I think Donovan Mitchell is smart enough to say, let Evan cook. I think that with an Al Horford, right, like that's where that matchup kind of makes the difference, and it does come down to efficiency in a 1-2 matchup there. Because to me, I think Cleveland's good enough to get to an ECF. I don't think Cleveland is good enough to get to a finals matchup where they're taking out the best in the Eastern Conference, unless somehow Boston basically just says we're bad at basketball.
Not if Boston hits 30.
Now, my expectation is Boston versus Cleveland in the ECF.
No, if Boston hits 30% of their threes, then Boston wins. If they shoot to 20% when Cleveland has one of those games, Boston has shot like 20-something% from the three, then they lose. But if they shoot 30%, Boston wins every time.
That's an interesting stat.
I'm gonna say that their peak is the second round. I'm not gonna say that they have the ability to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Last 3 years,
Who did they lose
Cavaliers
to in the second round?
In the second round last year,
got
I
Pacers?
believe it was the Lakers.
Pacers on there? No, I'm saying this
The
season.
Cavaliers.
Who do you think they lose to in the second round?
I honestly think that either the Pacers or the Bucks. More
I think
playoff
if they match up with the
experience.
Bucks, they kill the Bucks. Bucks too big.
I don't think they
No
kill them.
Dame.
Bucks
No
depends
Dame.
on Dame. It
No
must
Dame.
depend on Dame.
Well, Dame is out.
He's not out now, but they're not saying
He
if he's
may
going to be
come
out for the
back.
playoffs.
He may come back.
So
He's
here's
not
Dame
coming
probably
back.
not
He
coming
got a
back.
blood clot.
That's a life-threatening blood clot. He probably not
I'm going
playing.
to say, for
still-
fantasy
he's still
purposes,
he's
I
still
lost the
my rush.
championship because of a blood clot.
Here's the reason why I say that, though. The last 3 years, Cavaliers have been at the top of the East. They were fourth in 2022 to 2023. They were fourth last year, and they're first, obviously, this year. To me, they remind me of, what's the team that had all those-
Atlanta?
Thank you. Joe
I wouldn't say
Johnson,
that.
Josh Smith, Jamal Crawford,
Yeah.
Kirk Heinrich, Al Horford. Like, they had a squad, and they kept coming up short. They really legitimately had all the pieces. They were very good. You expected them to get to the playoffs, but for whatever reason, they never got over the hump. Kind of like how Toronto was, because they kept running into
Yeah,
Miami.
but he's a bigger star.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. They didn't have a star.
Donovan's
Donovan
a bigger
Mitchell.
star.
The Hawks didn't have a star. Your star
Yeah.
was ISO Joe, and ISO Joe was ISO Joe for a reason.
And he was old.
I'm gonna let no, he wasn't.
Was he old?
ISO
Nah,
Joe was
ISO
old.
was 7 years old.
Hey,
the-
ISO Joe,
Hey,
ISO Joe has
was
some
on
game.
Brooklyn.
ISO Joe was
Still killing
27
back
years
then.
old.
He can
was
still
He was
cook.
old on Brooklyn.
He lost because of his name,
killing
ISO Joe.
That's
You
100%.
clear out, and he's the only.
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna
can
get out
play
your
by himself.
way. You go ISO Joe.
Him
Yeah.
was more like
Your
that.
number 2 was Josh Smith.
Yeah, nah.
And he couldn't hit three.
Right, you got Josh
Jamal
Smith, you got
Crawford.
Jeff Teague, you got Jay Crow.
Yeah.
Jay
the
Crow though
bench.
is coming up. No, is that Jay Crow? Or is that
He was
Lou
off the
Will?
bench. He was off
That
the
might
bench.
be Lou Will though.
No, That might be
That top
No,
team,
Lou-
that
Lou-
top team
Lou-
in the
Lou-
East.
Lou Will was coming off the bench, but Drake
No,
Cottle.
no, no,
I don't
no,
think
that's
Jay
not
Crow
bad.
was on that
He had a
team. I think
squad.
Jay Crow was
Jamal
in.
Crawford was on that team because Derek had 44 that game when Jamal was sticking him.
No. It was J. Crow because this was what 20.
Whenever Derrick Rose and them killed him in the playoffs, that's
Atlanta had a few years where
Yeah.
they was good. A few years where they.
Yeah, but they only
made
had
it.
1 year where they was the first team in the West.
No, I'm
point
talking
is-
it's not in the West, but they kept coming up against Miami and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So they kept coming up short. So that's my point. Is I think that the peak of this team is second round, maybe the finals, but or rather the Eastern Conference Finals. But New York and Boston, to me, are better teams.
So this is the team: 2014, 2015 Atlanta Hawks. You had Kent Bazemore, who I forgot about.
Ooh,
Kent
he
was nice.
He was
Kent-
a good defensive
Kent
player.
had
Kent
some
looked
good
like
years.
Chance the
I like it.
Rapper.
2014,
I like
Jay
his
Crow was
defense.
on LA.
I like his defense.
2014, Jamal Crawford is not on that team.
He's on LA.
Jeff Teague is on
I'm
that
talking
team.
about
Thabo
that. I'm talking about
Cephalon.
earlier than
This
that.
this is the
Talking
best
about
thing.
09,
You talk about
you're talking
09,
about
02.
09 and 10.
Tabo was good defensive. on the wing, too.
Tabo was on that team. Mike Scott is on that team. Dennis Schroeder is on that team. Mike Muscala is on that team. Muscala was getting good minutes. Paul Millsap is on that team.
Ooh,
Kyle
he was solid,
Korver
bro. He was
is
solid.
on that team. Al Horford is on that
that's
team.
huge.
Damari Carroll is on that
Millsap was
team.
almost a double-double guy that
That's the
year.
All-Star team.
That's the All-Star team, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. They was
Yeah.
number one in the Eastern Conference. And who's the star I just named?
Nobody.
I thought so.
Horford.
Yeah.
No, they were the.
ISO Joe ain't even on that team.
They were they were the new addition.
ISO Joe's not even on that
No, they
team.
weren't. They were.
I was referring to the Atlanta Hawks of that year.
He's talking
Of
about-
those years.
No,
Oh,
they
nine.
were
They
the
were
Pistons.
that could.
09
They
and
were
10
they were the
made
new
the
Oh,
addition
so you saying they
Pistons.
cheeks.
No,
No,
they notice
Atlanta
they
was
were.
known for getting to the playoffs, but they also were known for exiting very shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
The
They
Joe
always had a really
Johnson.
good
Why,
team.
why
They
would
were
Cleveland
mid.
be getting
They were
better?
So
They were
Lou
like
Will,
definition
the
of basketball
last,
purgatory for like a while.
the last Joe Johnson team. He ain't even on this team. God dang, it's been that long.
Al
We're
Horford's
old.
played for 40 years. G.
Bro, no, not Al Horford. I'm talking
No, I mean,
about
he
Joe
was on that
Johnson.
team.
He,
What I'm talking
stopped
about.
playing in 2011.
Joe played a
2012.
long time.
2011,
Because you
2012.
remember he came in with Phoenix.
Who's that?
Joe Johnson.
Oh,
He
Joe
came in with
Johnson.
Phoenix.
I thought Joe came in with Boston.
So
No,
09.
he
So
was
you,
Phoenix.
so the team you were talking about was Facts, but that team was not good. They were good. I shouldn't say that. They
East
were
was weak.
they were a 53-win team,
The
but
East was weak.
the Bulls were clapping it.
The East was weak. The East was very top.
Joe Johnson is on that team. Al Horford is on that team. Jay Crow is on that team. Mike Bibby is still on that team. He's 100.
Mike Bibby.
He was ahead of 11 years
Kirk on that team
already.
too?
Mario West is on that team. Jeff Teague is on that team. No Kirk Heinrich.
No Kirk? Okay.
Kirk was there earlier, but by then he might have been back with the Bulls.
Okay.
Remember, he left and came back, and then we went on our kind of run. But yeah, listen, that was the team coached by Mike Woodson. If that's who you think the Cleveland Cavaliers are, they're not going to win.
Atlanta didn't have the same defensive pedigree that they have now because this Cleveland Cavalier team is actually one of the best in the
Yeah,
league.
that's
defense.
not a great
So
defense.
Yeah.
basically, you don't think they're at least an Eastern Conference contender?
I think
So they're a second round.
I
team.
would say
It
no.
depends on who they play in the second round.
I would say they're a
It's either-
contender. JC doesn't. JC thinks they're going out.
So I'm just saying.
Second round.
JC
so you don't
thinks
think
they're a
get
second
past
round
the
exit
Pacers or
versus the
Bucks?
Bucks and the Pacers. I would argue that they probably could beat both of them full strength. Donovan Mitchell is not playing right now because it's the end of the season. I need Donovan Mitchell ready.
Yeah.
But I think when you start to get in, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I think it would probably be an ECF matchup if Detroit got there. If they matched up with Detroit, Detroit would beat Cleveland.
Ooh, that's
Nah,
that's
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 If
that's
they
a
matched
strong
up,
take.
if they
That's a
matched up,
strong
if they
take.
matched,
That's a
if
strong
they
take.
matched
I'll
up
let
with
you have that
Detroit,
one.
That's
You
a
stand on the
strong
island
take,
right there.
Pat.
they matched
Pat,
up.
Pat, I want you to think about that.
Hey,
That's a strong
hey,
take.
And y'all know
Hold on.
I hate Detroit. I hate everything
Jalen
about
Duran.
Detroit.
Pat, I want you to think
it's
about that for a second.
municipality.
I want you to think
think
about
it's
that
not
for a
real
second.
city. I think that they have terrible teams. I think that they're a joke of a city. I can't stand anything about Detroit. The one thing that Detroit has that Cleveland does not have is that extra bit of grit and that extra bit of willingness to get dirty.
Bro, that dude
Nah.
just fought somebody. Detroit just fought somebody.
no,
What do you
no.
mean they don't have no grit?
I
No, I'm saying
give me
Detroit
Minnesota.
does.
Oh,
over Cleveland.
Okay.
I'm saying that I believe
he's a
that
thug.
Detroit. First off, I think that Cade Cunningham playoffs is about to be crazy because he's a ridiculous.
I thought he was a bust for a little bit. I honestly, I thought he was
You
a
were
bust for a
better
little
off
bit.
saying Orlando.
No,
You were better
Suggs
off
is
saying
hurt.
Orlando.
Suggs is hurt.
You
Suggs
tweaking.
is hurt.
They
and the
don't
other
have a
Wagner's
team
hurt.
that's healthy enough to even match up.
Suggs and the other Wagner's hurt, so you can't count Orlando.
They don't even have a
until
team
next
that's
year.
healthy enough to
No,
match up.
The reason, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I was gonna say this. The reason why I don't think that's crazy is because
Detroit is not crazy.
No, what Pat just said is not crazy. You got a Sword Thompson. We just talked about the Thompson
The
twins.
defense of a
That-
Sword Thompson
that-
is going to destroy the Cavs.
That's one. They don't have anybody on the team. Realistically, nobody's gonna be. Cade's gonna get what he wants to get, and
Yeah, who's stopping Cade?
the-
That boy
Who's
Hunter.
stopping Cade?
That boy Hunter they got from Atlanta got a 3-and-D deal.
DeAndre Hunter is stopping Cade Cunningham.
He's a good 3-and-D guy.
Hold on,
He's a good 3-and-D guy.
Hold on.
He's a good 3-and-D.
Hold on. Malik Beasley's having a career year from 3. So that's another thing that you got to take into account. Tobias Harris is actually
Tobias Harris over me.
their vet presence. They got some guys, and if Isaiah Stewart gets in Evan Mobley or Jared Allen's head, it's over.
And I'm be real with you.
Them dudes want to fight.
And I'm be real with you.
Okay, let me.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Listen.
Okay, none of them bigs match up with Jalen Duren.
And then and he's having a career.
Y'all not watching. Jalen Duren different.
Y'all not watching.
Jalen Duren a 20 and 15 level player.
He just had a perfect game from the field tonight.
That don't mean nothing.
Tonight
What that mean? That don't mean
over the Knicks.
You crowning him the MVP?
He
Jalen Duren.
You want to crown him? Then crown him, Ringo.
Then I'm gonna
crown him then. Hey, what they say? We knew what they were.
They are who we thought they were.
There you go.
And we let them off the hook.
Dude, they coming in to fight, bro.
Hold on. What did Jalen Duren go for tonight? Jalen Duren was 9 for 9 from the field. Where his points at? Hold on. Jalen
no
Duren.
threes, so it was 18.
18 and 13.
Yeah, 18.
Jalen Duren had 18 and 13 with hold on, I'm looking for the block. One block. Okay. He put up Vooch numbers. That's not that.
The crazy thing is,
good job.
This particular
it's
team.
not crazy.
She want a good job.
The crazy thing about
Put
this
up Vooch
team
numbers.
is 1, young, 2, still very emotionally driven, right? 3, like I know we haven't done this all day, but you go by the season series, the games that they've won, their best players were Tim Hardaway Jr., who's one of the most inconsistent shooters that we've seen. That man is so up and down. So guess what? If you want to hit your wagon in that one, have at it, sir.
The games that they've won,
bet
what?
you a stake. The last time they matched up, the Cavs and the Pistons, Detroit won. They won by 10. Tim Hardaway Jr. scored 33 points.
That's cool.
Okay.
How much did Cade have?
Cade wasn't there.
Oh, so they beat him without Cade Cunningham.
Cade wasn't there.
So they beat him without Cade
This is
Cunningham.
what we're saying.
So your argument is that the Cavs are going to dominate the Pistons without Cade Cunningham,
How
and they
many
couldn't
times
beat
do
him.
you think the Detroit Pistons are going to have 7
I'm
people
just-
in double digits with Tim
I-
Hardaway Jr. scoring
Listen.
32 points?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this.
I'll tell you what.
I know one
How many
thing.
times has
The
he scored 32
the
points
Cavs couldn't
with Cade
beat
there?
The Cavs couldn't beat the Nets. Or I'm sorry, the Pacers without Donovan Mitchell.
They lost by 2.
Hey, that's great. How much did the Cavs lose by that night versus the
Oh, they lost by 10.
the Cade
They lost.
Cunningham Pistons?
They
Cade
lost.
Cunningham-less Pistons. By the way, it's hurting me to hype these mugs up. I'm just telling you, the Pistons to me are a more realistic team than the Cavaliers because at every step on the court, this Pistons team is run by defense and efficiency.
Let me ask you a question.
The Cavaliers have a lot of defense. The Cavaliers do not have a lot of efficiency.
Let me ask you a question. Who is shooting the 3 on the Pistons?
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley.
You need more than one person to shoot the 3s to win.
Okay.
You do. You need more than one person. You need more than one person to shoot the 3 to win with that kind of tightly contested team that matches up. You need more than one person.
Tim Hardaway is a 3-point shooter. Cade Cunningham
He is
can knock down the
inconsistent.
3.
He's
Dennis
inconsistent.
Dennis Schroeder is
Cunningham.
now on that team who
He's
can knock down the
inconsistent
3.
too. He's inconsistent.
can-
all those guys are
anybody can-
inconsistent.
We can
They
shoot down every
No,
player that I
no,
give you, but and
no,
yet
no.
they have
They're-
44
they're-
wins
no,
this
they're
season.
No, that's right. That's good. But Cleveland has more consistent players than Detroit. Detroit has came a long way. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they have enough consistency to beat Cleveland.
They don't. And they're not a better defensive team.
Drew's-
They're on the rise, though.
Drew's
Don't get me
believing in
wrong.
them. Jordan's not.
No.
Oh, I believe in Cleveland.
Oh.
The only team I think
you
they
mean
can beat.
Cleveland. I thought we were talking about
I
Detroit. No, I don't
believe
believe in
I
Cleveland.
believe in Cleveland to an extent, but not.
I don't say that.
And the fourth topic here. Hey, we switching gears here, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love as we were talking about that NBA playoffs, and this is how you pivot.
That's how you pivot, baby.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review, and all with the
Pivot
man.
Podcast.
The pip, no, not the
Nah,
pivot. You can't say that.
no.
They're
Okay.
very
Resend
successful
it.
and have a
Resend
lot
it.
of money.
Oh, boy.
I would love to be on the Pivot Podcast, but I feel like I had a good story.
I
got
think
a good story.
honestly, I
If you
think
make
you're
this
next,
story.
man. You gotta one of your people that you're on the podcast with was on First Take. I think you're coming next. I'm gonna put that
Well,
in the
Courtney's
energy.
dominant.
I'm
I
gonna,
mean,
I'm gonna
listen,
put I'm gonna put that out there for you.
Courtney has been on around the horn
I'm gonna
all the
put
time.
that out there for
Courtney's
you.
She been there for a
dominant.
minute.
I'm gonna put it out there for you.
She on a different level. You know what I
No,
mean?
I'm putting that out there for
I
you.
respect it. I appreciate it, brother. I really do. As we keep this thing moving along, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Let's talk about this and switch gears here. As the basketball playoffs are going to be interesting, but the NFL draft coming up here, I think Sheduer Sanders is a great conversation to have because so often the quarterback is the focus of whatever is happening in the NFL, right? We're talking about Cam Ward going number 1 overall. I hate to tell y'all this. Cam Ward, not that good.
Not that great.
Quarterback crop this year is not
Not
exciting.
that great.
I'm not gonna say he's not that
It's
good.
underwhelming.
He's got tools.
He's not better.
Yeah,
this
but
year.
that
Hey,
doesn't.
I got a tool. That don't mean it's great. You know what I mean?
Zach,
Like,
Zach
it's
Wilson
not
had
NFL
hey,
level.
Zach Wilson had tools. Who's the guy that went
Nah,
to
there it
the
is.
49ers?
There
Is he Anthony Richardson?
I'm not saying that Cam Ward is Anthony Richardson. I think that if Cam Ward was in the draft last year, Cam Ward goes after J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. Trey Lance had tools. Like we ain't talking about tools.
Hey, Trey Lance can't get a shot.
Trey Lance got hurt.
Trey Lance can't get a shot. Y'all still believe you and you both still believe in Trey Lance.
No,
The mid defender.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I just don't believe we got a chance to see what he could do.
He never got a shot.
Yeah, he definitely got cut short.
Oh, would you sign him?
But something would say he would do something.
Would you sign him to the Giants? Oh, what you laughing at?
Yeah,
What you like? No. Would you sign him to the Giants as a starter right now? Starting quarterback. Trey Lance. Yeah.
yeah, it's still what 23.
He's 24.
Okay, so you go the $40 million that just got committed to Justin Fields. Trey Lance, you giving him that?
Yeah, I thought that was 100, Bucko. What happened?
I mean, let's extrapolate out. Let him ball out this year.
He ain't getting 100
Let him
million.
ball out this
He
year.
ain't getting 100 million.
Hey, what's the normal contract? 5-year contract, right? What's 20 times 5? What's 20 times 5? Hey, they give him a try deal. They give him a try deal. They give him a try deal.
All right.
Hey, you got to see if that thing gonna work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you get 6 months. Sometimes you get 10 years.
Hey, you know the one thing the
Depends
Jets gonna
a few
have? They're
minutes.
gonna have a leading rusher. I tell you that much.
Yeah, I'll tell you that much. But no,
that's
I think what's interesting about this year in the draft is that the quarterback conversation is kind of dead. It is Cam Ward. Maybe it's Jackson Dart, which is terrible. And
No, he's not terrible. He's a project.
Jackson Dart top 10.
It's project. He's not top 10. He's project.
Jackson Dart may go top 10.
He might go top
He's not.
10.
He's going.
He
he's
may.
not.
Oh, yes, he may.
He's
Oh,
going
I
first
love it
round.
from a Bears
Yes, he may.
standpoint,
That's
but
great.
He's
There's
going first round.
there's gonna be some
He's going
people
first
that are
round,
gonna
but he's not
evaluate
top
him and
10.
say he goes top
who's
10.
he good enough to go in the first round against? Jackson Dart in last year's draft is a 4th round pick.
That's
Yep.
great.
No, he's going-
The
he's
Bears
going
would have
second round.
selected
He's going
Torrey
second round.
Taylor over Jackson
Jackson
Dart
Dart.
last year. There's some punty punting going on.
It's disrespectful.
Oh, well, I'm just saying he's a punter. But no, I think that the thing right now is that and Sheduer Sanders yesterday had a workout with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The conversation around Sheduer is that he's probably going to fall There's not a lot of people in the draft that I think need that quarterback position. Is the Steelers the best landing spot for Sheduer Sanders right now? Where I think the Giants is a name that's on that list. I would say the Colts is possibly on that list, or maybe New Orleans, but
Not the Colts, but New Orleans, yes.
I would say the Colts just because, like, what's the answer there at the quarterback position? But maybe you let them get past. And after that,
Cleveland needs a quarterback.
The Saints and the Raiders.
Cleveland may need a quarterback, but Cleveland does not believe in Sheduer Sanders.
Yeah.
We have kind of seen that
Not
from the
over
pre-draft
Abdul.
assessment already.
Not over
How do we
Abdul.
know that's not
Abdul.
smoking?
I don't
mirrors?
believe it is. Listen, this is Lion season. Cleveland needs.
Well, they literally didn't bring him in.
No, that would explain that.
Maybe they do. Listen, there's still time left, but he literally hasn't met with Cleveland for a pro workout, as far as I know. I haven't. I believe that the workout with Cleveland did not come.
It did not.
It's not.
So
Cleveland is either Abdul
hey, if I'm where
oh
we
boy.
at? We 14 days away from the draft.
Yeah.
I probably take a look at him already.
I hope that he drops to go to a better team, so he doesn't have to.
I do too, actually.
I would hope that he goes to.
I hope he goes to Pittsburgh.
I
I hope he
think-
goes to Pittsburgh.
I
Pittsburgh
think
actually makes sense because of the pairing of the coach and the quarterback. I like him with a Mike Tomlin. I think that would be a good pairing just because of
How
the.
do you like it with a Tomlin 2.0?
Oh, not him again.
Honestly, depends on if they commit to Aaron Rodgers.
or the Rams.
Aaron Rodgers.
If he's
Or
there,
the
then yeah,
Rams
no.
as
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers is, honestly, he may be a bridge, but
He doesn't like to think he is.
Aaron Rodgers, he don't like to think he is. He's taking his sweet old time trying to commit to a team anyway. And guess what?
I don't think it's him.
I think it is.
I think it's fully every other team is just like, so you got to be there at training camp? I got this thing.
Right.
Ayahuasca.
All right.
We need you to lock.
I got to
in
go
so
into
you can-
a cabin
So
for
let's
30
draft
days
the guy.
real quick.
I have to
wants
sit
be a
in the
starter.
dark and do some
He
things.
wants to be a starter.
you
He
do
wants
that,
to.
we'll
He
move
wants to
on.
do the things that he needs to. And honestly, he doesn't fit what Pittsburgh is looking for. To be honest with you, Aaron Rodgers and how he's gone about things, whether you blame it on him or not, because I mean, at one instance he was.
No, it's
traded.
on him.
Well, on one instance he was.
No, it's
traded.
on him.
So everybody that complained about him holding up so many things, like one of those situations, he didn't even freaking control.
No, he did control it.
No, he didn't.
When he got traded from the Packers to the Jets,
He didn't control that.
he 110% controlled it.
How did he control it?
The owner literally went to Aaron Rodgers and said, "Do you want to be here?" And Aaron said, "I'll think about it." And it got to a point where they were like, "We have to extend you. It's either trade you or don't extend you. Do you want to be here? I'll tell you when I get there." All right, we got to trade you, dog. Like, Aaron Rodgers 100% has controlled his full journey. It is all on him.
There's a lot of different
where
narratives
he
about
is at.
that.
No, there's not. It's literally that. The owner walked out and said, "I asked him, did he want to be here?"
I get you.
There's no other narrative.
Maybe we have revisionist history now because that ain't what has been reported.
Revisionist what?
Hey, I'm just letting you know that ain't what's being said now.
Yeah, are you
what's
referring?
being said?
You're not referring to after?
He's saying when he got
You're
traded from the
saying-
Packers to the Jets that Aaron Rodgers had nothing to do with that.
No, I didn't say he had nothing.
Well,
I'm saying how long it took and everything like that. They were trying to get the best deal for him, and that's why it took.
They
so
were
long.
trying to get him back from his journey into weed or whatever drug he was doing.
No, it's not weed.
To ask
It's darkness.
ayahuasca.
It's
Ayahuasca.
darkness. It's
I totally get what
the
you're
darkness.
To ask him, "Hey, brother, are you gonna be here?" They waited so long for 1 year. Devontae Adams said,
Said,
"I can't wait
be
no
here."
more. Trade me."
No. Isn't that the year he got extended? He took the money.
No, they
No.
wanted-
There was a situation about him taking the money, and he could have took less for Devontae to stay. That was one of those things that happened.
No, Devontae was like, "Aaron, you staying?" And Aaron was like,
So he LeBron
I
him?
got this
It
thing
was like
going
LeBron and
on."
Kyrie type
And
situation?
Devontae was like, "Well, I don't know what's going on, so I guess I'm gonna go over here with my college guy."
No, I thought that was. No, he
pretty
signed
much
for
Las
like
Vegas.
130 or something. Like, so what did he sign?
He
for?
might have got the
man.
bag.
He got the bag,
definitely
and
got-
because he got the bag,
Well,
they
listen,
couldn't keep
well, listen,
Devontae.
He's Devontae Adams. He could have got the bag.
And he
No,
also
not-
got
no,
mad
they
because he
still-
wanted. They were mad because they drafted
And they drafted Jordan Love.
instead of getting him a receiver and getting more. He felt like he
No, that was after. Devontae was gone.
Aaron played 3 more years after that with Devontae Adams for 2 of them.
What I'm saying is that him not necessarily controlling that he could just go to the Jets. They're not going. He didn't control where he could really just go. That was the best options because they're not going to trade him into the division.
He literally picked it.
I'm saying, at the whole point is that right now, if he's playing games and these jokers are tired of dealing with Aaron Rodgers in general, right? So like you're saying, do they know whatever the dramatics or the theatrics that is coming with him?
100%.
Is it that he's creating this issue of not signing a team? Does it actually work out for maybe Pittsburgh that they end up possibly getting Sheduer instead of waiting on Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I think that's more of a Sheduer.
If he
I will
drops.
say this. I think there's two things that force. The Aaron Rodgers conversation is a different one. Aaron, I think, has shot himself in the foot a million times and then blames everybody else. I think Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Talent-wise. Talent-wise, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. I've watched Aaron Rodgers behind bad offensive lines throw 4 interceptions. So I think that he is talent-wise the greatest quarterback. Now, winning-wise, Pat Mahomes, of course, Tom Brady, they're all above that. But Aaron did this to himself. I don't give him no break on that.
His MVP says a lot.
100%. He's an amazing talent. He's an amazing talent. I will never say Aaron Rodgers is not one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever sling a football. The conversation on Sheduer, and I know this is going to be tough for a lot of people, but I do think that it is built around Sheduer wants to be his dad, which is not wrong.
Mm-hmm. I think it's that, and it's one
you
more
all
thing.
want to. Everybody wants to be somewhat like their dad.
I know,
right?
but I think it's one more thing besides that, and it has to do with his dad. Their knock and the thing is, he's too confident. And Dan Orlovsky, I hate to say it, said a couple days ago, "What quarterback isn't cocky or confident?"
No. I don't think that Sheduer shouldn't be confident. I agree with you. I think he's very confident. The conversation I think you have to have with Sheduer, though, is are you confident in yourself with metrics that aren't playing out for people to see? Now, tape-wise, at Colorado, I think he balled out. It's very tough for me to say he didn't play well.
What he had, yes.
With a bad offensive line,
What he had,
with a
yes.
bad defense. And so I do think that it would be very beneficial for him to fall to 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And he can handle the spotlight. He's been in it
I
the
think
whole
he can
time.
handle the spotlight as well. I think there's a lot of good things about Sheduer. Where I think it comes up short, though, is Sheduer thinks because of that tape, I don't need to show you anything.
Or maybe the Giants do want to take him at 3, and they don't want to tip their hat so that somebody trades up.
So
Yeah,
Get
but
him.
who's trading up to 2?
So this is what I was gonna say. I don't think we're gonna take him at 3.
I don't either.
I think
Okay, shame
I think it's probably gonna be Travis.
and Russ.
But I think
And Russ.
I think we're going back to get him in the first round.
You think you trade back in together?
Yeah, I think we're going.
I
back
can see
together.
that possibility.
because of
And Pittsburgh settles with Jackson Dart.
because of the simple fact I think Pittsburgh is probably going to settle with Jackson Dart. The tape.
What picks does Giants have?
What?
What
Giants
picks-
have
They got
3.
We got
and then,
we got
34.
3, and then we
34.
got,
Second pick in the
we
Yeah.
got
second
basically what the second pick.
second pick in the second round.
Yeah, second pick in the second round. So, I think we go back in the first round to get him, and that's basically our trifecta with Neighbors, Hunter, and Sheduer because
He's
I went back and I looked at it. As much as I like Abdul, we already got an embarrassment of riches on the D line anyway.
With Brian Burns. You do
Yeah,
have Brian
like
Burns.
we were.
Abdul won't be there for you.
Yeah,
Abdul is going with Miles Garrett.
Yeah, for sure.
You
So,
get Travis.
Yeah. So I think we go back in the first round and we get him because I don't think he's gonna slip all the way down to 21, especially with what the tape says. He has the ability to move. He's been under the pressure of, okay, when the offensive line is bad, what do I do? And not only that, he has the clutch gene.
Yeah.
I don't think you have enough to get back in the first round though.
What you got, kid?
Do you all like between these two teams? Let's just be honest. Who's the starting quarterback for Cleveland?
The guy
Think about it. I'll wait.
No, the guy that they just picked up.
What's his name?
Without looking at my phone.
All right, hold on. Here's the thing. Who's the starting quarterback for the Giants?
Russ.
If that doesn't work out, who's the starting quarterback for the Giants?
Jameis.
Which one of these organizations'
They're only
owner
there
just
for the
admitted,
year.
hey, we took a swing and a miss on a quarterback who's still
Cleveland.
on the roster?
Browns.
Kenny
The Browns.
Pickett.
Kenny
Kenny Pickett on the Browns?
Kenny Pickett's on the
Take a
Browns.
chance, baby. Let him destroy Pittsburgh.
Kenny throw a Pickett is on the
Throw a
Browns.
Pickett on the Browns.
Guess what? Sheduer is going to the Browns.
No.
I don't believe so.
No.
He's not.
Because I think
They-
I
they
don't
passing on
believe
Abdul.
that the Browns believe in Sheduer enough to take him.
They
I
do.
think that there are pieces that the Browns can add that will be more. Because here's the thing: you miss on Sheduer. It's not just you missed on Sheduer. It's you missed on Sheduer, and you left Abdul Carter on the board, and you left Mason Graham on the board, and you left Travis Hunter on the board,
but you need a quarterback.
and you left. Yes, you
But
need
you
a quarterback.
need a quarterback.
You
That's
need a
your biggest
quarterback,
need.
right? You
Hold on,
need a
let me
quarterback.
finish this thought though. Who also has the first pick in the second round?
Cleveland.
The Browns.
So the same scenario exists for the Browns.
Tyler Show.
You can literally draft somebody. You can trade up to get whoever you need to get because you kind of have some leverage, and you kind of need to do it. Out of both of these teams, Cleveland, as much as they say they ain't taking him, which I don't believe, I think he's still in the cards for them. You need it. You need it more than Cleveland. I mean, you need it more than the Giants, and you need a quarterback that takes the spotlight off the fact that you have Deshaun Watson there and all the mess that comes with that. You need somebody to change from top to bottom the entire narrative about your organization. Sheduer does that.
Real quick, how much do we believe in the rumor of Kirk Cousins might be?
Kirk Cousins ain't going nowhere.
He's
Oh,
done.
okay.
Atlanta can't beat that cap space.
So,
Stick with four.
who's the starting quarterback for
Atlanta.
the Falcons?
Penix.
Michael
Oh,
Penix.
okay.
Penix.
So it's like
Yeah, you got a very expensive quarterback sitting on your bench. You effed up.
You messed up.
Well, no, you thought he was going to last a little bit longer, and you're going to
that's
bring
what I'm
him
saying.
bring
Like
this
you
quarterback
don't
along.
think they're gonna cut him?
No, they're not gonna cut him. You know how much dead cap they get if
that's
they
a
cut
big
him?
amount of money.
You effed up.
And
They
you know-
effed up.
And hold on.
They're looking to trade him. They're looking to
Here's
trade
the
him.
thing.
They're looking to
Take
trade him
that,
at
take
best.
that.
We've been saying that Denver paid Russ to go away.
Denver didn't like Russ.
Denver didn't like
Different.
Like
Like legitimately.
So-
No,
so-
no,
so-
Sean Payton
no,
does
no,
not like
no,
Russ.
no.
Denver
Atlanta
paid Russ to go away.
Atlanta
Denver
likes
also
Kirk.
then owed him $100 million
Kirk
plus.
just got old. Atlanta likes Kirk. They like who Kirk is as a person. Sean Payton hates Russell Wilson.
And by the
Sean
way,
Payton
we know.
walked in the first
We
day
know.
and told Russell Wilson, "Why are you in my space? Get out."
and let's
Shout out
be
to
for real.
Sierra, though.
He still has one more year.
Sierra. Jesus
Shout out to
Christ.
Sierra.
Great,
Shout out to
great
FCC.
video. Great
Oh,
video.
what a video.
I believe he still has some guaranteed money
She's
too,
better
so
than
they
Nia
have
Long,
to.
I'll tell you that.
Oh,
It's a
man.
whole
I
lot
saw
of
him
guaranteed
comment.
money.
Hey, you know how bad his wife is? He
on
commented on her own video and said she trying to get kid 4, 5, and 6. I was like, God dang, Russ, I'm in my room.
Shout out to Russ. Shout out to Russ.
Shout out to Russ.
He's winning.
I'd have
winning
gave
in
it to
life.
her. I'd have gave it up.
But
Hey, he about to.
Yeah,
he probably did
I'd
already.
have gave it up. Like, yes, baby, whatever
Sierra
you say,
Nation,
honey.
let's
Whatever
ride.
you say, honey.
Hey, Sierra picking the next team. Hey, baby, where you want to
Where
go?
you wanna go?
Oh my God, what are you doing?
Let's go to Atlanta.
How about New York, baby? I'll take you to New York, wherever you want to go, baby.
it makes more sense for Sheduer to be in
Take
Cleveland.
you
They
out to
need a
dinner.
quarterback.
They're not.
They're
They're
No
not.
getting around that.
They're
The
not-
only
they're not.
other rumor I'm even giving credit, and listen, I could be completely off, right? Probably is Dallas doesn't like Dak and they want to move off of him, and they draft Sheduer.
Jerry Jones loved that. The only thing around that conversation,
I believe it.
The only thing around that conversation is that Deion Sanders will come to coach his son, and I don't believe that. I think Deion is
Deion re-upped
very
it.
content
In Colorado.
in college, wherever he ends up. I don't know if
said
he
he
stays
doesn't
in
want to
Colorado.
be pros
he
'cause
already
he's too
already
much
said he
to
couldn't
deal
do it
with those
anyway.
Because,
personalities.
and I do agree with this. I think Deion would come in and say, "So what I need you to do is this here, and this how you need to make this move, and this what you need to do." You smack your lips, cut him. And Deion gonna walk in the owner's office. He's gonna be like, "Cut him," and they're gonna be like, "We can't cut him. He makes $35 million a year." He gonna be like, "Oh, I don't need to be here." Like it would be that to me, because I think Deion is at a spot where he's trying to create pro athletes, young men, all of that conversation, and I think that's a little bit different for him. But to me, Sheduer Sanders, when you talk about a landing spot, you bring up the Giants maybe trading back in. I don't think there's a team that needs them before the Steelers get there.
Maybe the Saints.
Maybe
I'm seeing the Saints.
Saints
at
maybe 9.
At 9, maybe.
Yeah.
If they don't believe in Spencer Rattler.
Does he let them get
Derek
there
Carr's
with
getting too old.
with the Manning history though? Does he call up Arch and go, should I let my son go to the Saints?
You know, I was gonna
That's a
say
good point.
no.
Arch got destroyed down there for his whole career.
No.
Is there maybe a year with the Bengals? Is there a year or two with the Bengals for an Arch Manning on there?
I can't speak on him.
And then the Saints ain't got no bread.
You were there.
Saints ain't got no bread.
Saints ain't got no bread.
All I'm saying is,
They can still
Cleveland got
draft
the
him.
second pick overall,
they
first
can-
in the second
they can still
round,
draft
third
him,
in the
but
third round,
I
fourth in the
think
second.
I hate that
second
we're
and
at
fourth
this
round.
world. I put in Arch Manning, and that mug brought up his grandson.
well, I
Getting
mean,
old, dog.
Archie.
Shut up. That man had a record of 35, 101, and 3.
Get a dog, though.
Hey, that man got destroyed in his
That is
life.
horrible.
He was with Houston. He was with New Orleans, mostly with New Orleans. Finished his career with Houston and Minnesota. Hey, man, what do you think Sheduer Sanders' best landing spot is? Let us know in the comments below. We'll be down to talk with you guys as well. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. This has been fun, man. I like the
This is
national you dig.
like
We just
this.
kind of riff. We do what we
This is
do.
cool.
We might have to end it a little earlier for Joel. Joel's needs it.
We might have to end it a little early for everybody.
I've heard. No, I'm great.
What was that sound?
I'm
JC don't go to
What
sleep.
the heck did I
Yeah, I'm
just?
good.
whoa, what was it?
What was that?
I don't know.
I heard a
was-
snort
it was-
like it was a pig or something.
Was
I
there?
don't know what's going on.
Is
No,
there
that
something
ain't what I
behind you?
heard.
No,
Is
That
there
ain't
something
what I
happened?
heard.
Was that you?
yeah, that was me setting up the outro music.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like. But we'll get up out of here, dog.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Let us know if you rock with the national content, man. This is fun. I'm glad we got the chance to do this, man.
okay.
I'm glad we got a chance to do this. You like this?
I love it.
Hey,
I love
we
it.
do this time next week.
This time next week.
Maybe not
Next time
this
next
time.
week?
Joe's about to die.
No, not this time.
Dude,
Not
he
this time.
literally looks
I'm
like
about
he's
to die.
kill him.
Joel,
I'm about to die.
I'm running the show.
Joel hasn't been
People
up
act like-
since 1 a.m.
Hey, you know what? You
I'm
want to run the
running, I'm
show,
hitting
then maybe you
buttons.
should be behind the camera.
You want to wrestle? You want to wrestle?
How about that?
You want to wrestle? Though?
Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle.
Let's wrestle. Hey, I invite you to go wrestle tomorrow because I'm tired. The heck is going on here? Hey,
Mr. Joel Holt. You know this man alive this weekend.
We're delirious right now.
Of course, Mr. Medium Self
Yeah.
Jordan JC.
All right.
They're formerly known as Ringo J. Step out of Don.
Need
Mr.
a
Drew Better. If you knew
steak
better, you
it.
do better. Say who better? Nobody, bro.
Just
Boy,
steak
Path
it
of the
2 in
Designer
the
back at it
morning.
again. Y'all stay safe out there, I guess world. It's not Chicago. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands. Stay classy, world.
Caps.
Peace.